gave your whole life for yeshiva. Your whole nachas was Talmidim learning. How's this man going, Moshe? How's it going? Mommy asking me, how's the yeshiva going? Are they learning? Such nachas from Talmidim. The Gemara tells in Berachos Daf Hey in the Beis, the Meister to Yechiel at Belazar, Scholish Belazar, Yechiel went in the Bakroi. The Gemara describes a Belazar. Shal the diary enough from the Hoyripsi, uncovered his arm and the light came out. And right, the Gemara has a conversation. Rabbi Yechiel asks him, what are you crying about? And as they write, finally, the Belazar says to him, I'm crying al hay shufra de balaba afro. This beauty that's going to be balaba afro. Rabbi Yechiel responds, al dovadi ko bachis. At this we have to cry, bachu tavayu. They cried together. My father, Yeshiva, Taish Gemara, I heard many years ago from him. It's a person in his lifetime built himself into a shofar, Talmid Chacham, a tzaddik. He's a shofar, such a beautiful person. The Gemara describes as Nafal Nahira, but my father Taish did chat. He's a beautiful person. Such midas, such tzidkis, such Torah. So many facets to the person, so beautiful. My father was a diamond of a human being, a diamond of Talmid Chacham, tzaddik. So many different facets to him. How can we do justice to him in a few minutes? So much was said. Ogeteicht. Just pick one nakuda. My father was a student. Studiert. He studied everything in life. Everyone he came in contact with, he studied it. He studied it till he understood it, until he understood it deeply. He said many times, being curious is a gewaldige mile in a person. You have to be curious. You have to be interested in something. He knew something about everything. And Avad in Torah, he taught us how to be curious. I remember many years ago as a little child, he took me and my brother, Baron, to Rabbi Yankiv Kamenetsky. Because he had it's a very interesting story with his father. He had a sichsach with his father. An interesting story at a different time. Like upon him, obviously sichsach to be invited the other way. Like upon him, he took us to Rabbi Yankiv Kamenetsky. We didn't know what was going on. He took us to Rabbi Yankiv Kamenetsky. And when we stood outside the door, he said to us, when you go into a God's house, you have to look at everything. First you look, where's the mezuzah? Does he hold the shita, neged ha-kosef? Does he hold shilsha elyon? Everything you have to see, everything you have to look at. They have to take it in. That's how you go into a God's house. And we went in. We sat there. Interesting, sad. We were very little, we didn't know what was going on, but when we left, he said to us, what does the house look like? Was it sparse? Was it balabatish? How did Yankiv live? I want you to look. I want you to take notice how God lives. He studied everything. He studied everything. Shtetzach, his great Rebbe, going to Baron. He already told her, Baron already met him at a young age. Like was mentioned before, Baron was known to Perr from Slabodka. Chaim Breslau mentioned. And Baron already told him when he was a young bacher, that Baron Eltav has come learning in Lakewood. So Baron was very mechav of him. He took him mamish with his akirve. It was in the few bachrim that the Baron called by the first name. He studied the Baron. He studied the Baron. He wrote everything down. He has notebooks full of Sachen he heard from the Baron. When he saw Baron. He once told us, the Baron said to him, als alles, was dich kennt wegen Goin, habe ich gehört von Chofetz Chaim. Und alles, was der Chofetz Chaim gekannt wegen Goin, der allein Beide gewinnt, der erste, der zweite Mensch, aber der allein Beide gewinnt. Alles, was ich kennt wegen Goin, habe ich gehört von Chofetz Chaim. The Baron himself was a student. The Baron studiert the Chofetz Chaim. And the student means to learn from the Gadol, and he gave it over to my father, Shiva. And he understood from the Baron, he have to study. And he studied the Baron. The Baron was very mechav of him. All the different facets that he had. My father used to say that after a shmooze, the Baron would search for him in the crowd and say, Lule Seroscha. And my father would start digging in yeshiva. The Baron had loved the koyach hanegina that my father had. My father davened for the Amud right over here till many years, till he had surgery on his vocal cords, and he couldn't daven anymore. Remember his tefillas. The Olam here doesn't remember his tefillas. He davened every word out loud. All his koiches. Shema Yisrael, Yishreirat Shema Yisrael. The Olam doesn't remember the young Olam. It's only the older Talmidim crying. I remember how he said when they took out the Sefer Torah, he used to go, Ki ayin ba'ayin yiru. He gave a scream, Ki ayin ba'ayin yiru. Then when he got married, he entered a new world, a world of Musar, a world of Nevarduk. And he studied Nevarduk. Studiert. The Nekritz himself studied Nevarduk. The Nekritz has a whole write-up exactly how to say that Dvarim the yeshivas was. And one of the Svarim is printed from him. Exactly, at Alain studiert. And he saw that in the Zayde, and he studiert the Zayde. And the Zayde Yafen, from Yafen, very close with him, extremely close. And studiert Zayde Yafen, so many things we said over from Zayde Yafen, so many Soides, and Hoga, and Chinuch, and Teure. The Vardik took him. He told me once that he had a chaver saying, I don't remember exactly the story, and that's never me. My father remembered every story, with every detail, with every date, with every nekuda. I'm not a chal b'chamra, I'm not even chal. I'm not right. Try the best we can. But the side of the story I remember. And his friend in Lakewood said to him something about, so one of the Alten Vardikas, that it wasn't a shtoch, it was just, what's the Vardik like? What's it about? So he said, my father told him, this Yid doesn't really care what you think about him. So his Chava said to him, there really are such people? My father was totally enraptured and being exposed to such people, such G'dolei Yisrael, G'dolei HaMusar, that worked their whole lives in perfecting themselves in Inyoni Musar, in Inyoni Midas, in Inyoni Taira of human being. My father was very curious in his studies. And he asked once, the Zaydi Yafen, Mavram Yafen, the Chesen, the yeshiva is named after him. He asked him a very brave question. He said to him, is the Alter gewen a normaler Mensch? We know the Alter had very extreme things he did. And he wanted very much to know, who is the Alter? Zaydi Yafen's schwer, the Alter von der Vardik, the great Alter von der Vardik. And he asked him, is gewen a normaler Mensch? And the Zaydi Yafen said to him, das gut gefragt. It's good he asked this question. He taught him it's good to ask. It's important to ask. This is an important question to understand. And then he told him, as gewen a so normal wie mir und dir. He was just as normal as me and you. His studies paid off. He asked the right questions. He got the right answers. He was so medactic in the Messiah, so medactic in the Minig. was almost a steer in this diamond of a person. My father, tis koyach achidish, as was mentioned before. So Reb Shvager of David talked about his koyach hayitzira. His koyach achidish was unfathomable. He never said a shmooze. He never said a alta shmooze. He said a alta shmooze. There was always a new knetch, a new daher, something new. He always looked to say something new. It's a pella. It's a pella de gazach. He was in his Zokken Svay Yomim. And he was saying Chedushim Keseder. Naya Chedushim. Insights. Brilliant insights. Creativity beyond. Things you can't think of. You look totally different way of looking at something. Pella ploim. And he once told me I should give him a bracha. Oidi nuvim b'seiva. You say it wasn't oidi nuvim b'seiva. He should give forth fruits. He wants to say nu Chedushim. And it was almost kamat a steer to him being oduk. To being oduk b'Rabbi Yosef, to such a diktuk, such a student of his Rabbeim, of anyone. He has his notebooks full of things he heard from random Gedolim, Tzadikim, not his Rabbeim. He studied life. He studied life from everybody. And at the same time, he had this gewaldige koyach achidish. Almost a steer. But because of this, he was a bridge to the world of the pre-war Europe. That door, that great generation, my father's generation, of those Talmidim, who Moshe Nefesh literally gave everything away to go learn Torah when everyone laughed at them. They had nothing to eat in Lakewood. There was no food. Tomato, for supper, basically said a sardine. And they went to learn Torah. He was part of that great generation. He was able to be a bridge to our generation because he had these different facets. Because of this, he was our anchor, and the anchor for so many Yidden all over the world. In Amunah. So many Yidden he cared about us. He cared about his Talmidim terribly. He cared about Gans Klal Yisrael. He cared about Yidden all over. If there's a matzav in Eretz Yisrael that we're living through now, the Angegang in 11, he always wanted to know the news. What's Tutzach in Eretz Yisrael? He's very busy with it. Bothered him, Mamash Ari and Shir. But because of these different facets, they have such koiches together. He was an anchor in a stormy world for Amunah. If we knew my father held it's true, we knew it was the emes. I remember asking him, maybe it's not proper to say over, but I remember asking him, we asked him as young children, it's a famous mice with the Dibuk, with the Chofetz Chaim. We asked my father, is it a true story? Because there's so many stories that never aren't true. Is it a true story? And he said, it's a true story. He said, Dachtzach Meir, heard from Simcha Wasserman. It's a true story. He told us. When he told us it's true, we knew it was true. Because he was critical, because he was original, at the same time being dovuk and oduk exactly in everything he studied. He didn't take it for granted. It's a gewen normal mensch. So if we knew it was the emes, and Rabbi said we know the emes of the Torah going back to Har Sinai, and there's so many frum Yidden in the world that are frum today because of him. Mamash frum. The people that come in that are disillusioned with certain chesroinus that we never have. And they would speak to him, and he was an anchor in that amunah for so many Yidden all over the world, for our family, versteht sich, for his Talmidim, versteht sich. I feel I have to read a piece that he wrote in the Sefer Shoshanas HaMakom, which is written in English, versteht sich, in this beautiful, beautiful language. It's on the back cover. And I think this is what he would be the message for us today. Dvarav Shal, my father. Moshe Rabbeinu stood alone, making a great decision. He was holding the luchos of the creator of the universe. And he saw people who were ready to incorporate the luchos into the festivities of the golden calf. The purity of the Torah would be polluted with idolatry. This must never be. And Moshe smashed the luchos before the eyes of all Israel. With these words, the Torah ends. The Torah has given us its last message. It has said to each one of us that each one of us must make our own great decision as to how to guard the purity of the Torah. Chazak, chazak, v'nis chazek. Be strong, we shall be strong. This is his message to us, Rabbi say. He wanted each and every one of us to do what's right, to do what's ehrlich, like was mentioned before. What is the Rebbeinu Shalom? And you're going to come face to the Rebbeinu Shalom, he's going to ask you, did you do the right thing? You're going to have to answer yes. What you think was the right thing. And this was a big chelik of what he held. A person really knows inside what's the right thing. It's a ganz arichus, that's what he held. Talked about the consciousness of a person. Al Kapanim, you're going to have to tell the Rebbeinu Shalom. And he definitely tried his best to do what he held was right. Amoli called me in the office. We were having a difference of opinion. He wanted me to do something, and I said to him, the chinuch you gave me is that I have to do what I hold is right. And that's the chinuch you want me to do. And he said, yes, you're right, that's what I want you to do. And boy say, right here, on this bima, the last Simchas Torah, as all the Simchas Torahs in Yeshiva, he was sick, he was crank, Shonim, Kippur, he schlepped sich rein, Simchas Torah, he was here Simchas Torah. Just Simchas Torah, I think it was the first time he came in. He was in the hospital in Rosh Hashanah, in Kippur. And he said, sing the end, the last takofe. Eitz chayim mila machazikim bo. He says, turn. The oil must sing along with him. The boy say, he been so ya. And that was the niggin he chose to sing, and the oil must sing along with him. Again and again, Eitz chayim mila machazikim bo. V'semechem ushar. And Reb Chaim Volozhiner says, what does it mean, Eitz chayim? It means a person falls off a ship or a boat in a stormy river or a stormy sea, and he's lost at sea, and he's drowning, and he passes by a floating piece of wood, and he holds on to it with all his koiches. Eitz chayim l'machazikamo. This is his only chance at life. It's his only hope in a stormy sea. And the stormy sea, Rabbi say, that we have to live with now, we don't have the... Who's going to tell us what to do, what's right, what's ehrlich, what the Messiah is? But we have to hold on very tight to the Torah. This is the last lesson he taught us in Simchas Torah. Maybe the last time he was in Yeshiva Kamat. See, a few times after that. And he told us, he's saying like he did every Simchas Torah, Eitz chayim ila machazikam, hold on fast to the Torah. Hold it with all our koiches. With all our koiches, hold on. We have to hold on together. There's no eitz. Hold on to this wood, it's going to get us. Trachas hayomim. Bila Mavas Lanetzach.